Hi, Keisha with New World Tarot here. Thank you again for joining me for yet another vlog. And this Monday, February 4th, brings in another new moon. And I absolutely love new moons. Like, new moons to me are a lot like an astrological spring. And the blessing of getting so many different times to start over, it's a lot like getting 12 spring equinoxes in a year. And the new moon, is of course the beginning moon phase, and it's the time of the moon cycle that starts things anew. The slate has been wiped clean, and it's just time to refocus, to re-energize, and replan on reaching your goals. Each new moon is just a wonderful time to declare new intentions, get new goals, and recommit to desires and needs that we may have previously placed on the back burner, And this new moon arrives in the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. Now, Aquarius, despite its name, is actually not a water sign, but is actually ruled by the element of air. And like the other air signs, Gemini and Libra, this sign is characterized by an active mind, a gift with communication, and really a love of thinking and reasoning and innovation and really questioning mainstream values. And as one of the three air signs, Aquarius is arguably the most impactful of the air signs, the most dynamic of the air signs, and probably the most unusual of the three air signs. And the sign of Aquarius is all about the counterculture mind, all right? Aquarians tend to think differently. They tend to think bigger than other people. They tend to really question the ideals of the current society. As far as Aquarians are concerned, just because an idea is accepted currently doesn't mean that is the best way to do things, or even that it's right at all, Because those born under the sign of Aquarius so easily embrace like outside the box thinking and novel, unusual ideas, this sign is the sign most linked with innovation, with progressive futuristic inventions, and with humanitarianism. So in other words, Aquarius the water bearer is the patron astrological sign of technology and of social progression. Those born beneath this sign tend to live their lives really one step ahead of the rest of society. They have confidence that their ideas, though often looked down upon by their current social peers, are actually of value. And, they're confident that one day their ideas will be appreciated for the truth that is inherent in them. And because of this larger than life and very individualistic thinking, it's no surprise that Aquarians tend to march to their own drumbeat. All right, they have their own ideas of how to live their lives, and they're more than often kind of described as a bit strange by those around them. In fact, being described as just a bit strange or just a bit eccentric is often the best case scenario for Aquarians. Aquarians can be cruelly described as, weirdos, as freaks, oddballs, and other like terms. And however, the lesson that the sign of Aquarius brings us is that individualism is needed for the progression of humanity. If we all think the same, if we all act the same, if we all go after the same things and accept the same ideas as unquestioned truths, then invention cannot occur. Social change cannot occur. Diseases can't be cured. Unfair laws can't be stricken down. Tyrants can't be challenged and pulled from power. The strange thoughts, the different paths taken, the challenging of authority, all these things make humanity's improvement possible. And the sign of Aquarius teaches us that human change and improvement begins at the individual level. It begins when one human, like you, thinks differently than the masses, wants differently than the masses, and acts differently than the masses. It's a contagious individualism. And that's kind of how I try to think about it, contagious individualism. But this contagious individualism starts with one person, and it spreads out to the greater population, connecting people and waking people up to the courageous realization that they're not the only ones to desire change and to feel differently than how they're supposed to feel, okay? So in other words, humanity needs you to be strange, okay? It needs you to be strange, it needs you to be weird, and it needs you to question the status quo. And this will naturally happen when you are yourself. All right, when you're yourself, it just feels good. It feels freeing. And it feels good and freeing because it's natural. And the world needs your unique, one-of-a-kind perspective. So don't hide it, okay? Now, we live in what is arguably one of the most Aquarian, quote, unquote, nations in the world. And, it has, I'll have to say, it has its pros. It's a wonderful nation, We ideally, as Americans, we celebrate and idolize the path of the visionary, the path of the entrepreneur, the iconoclast. And in the United States, for example, and in other Western nations as well, it's much easier and more comfortable to express alternate views. For example, to express an alternate sexual preference, or to express an alternate religion, an alternate, and more extreme fashion sense, or an alternate social or political viewpoint, okay? It's easier in nations like the United States. However, having an ideal be glorified by a culture, and that culture actually, idealizing it and actually acting on that idolization, they're not one and the same, okay? And you only need to ask someone who lives courageously counterculture to society's rules to see how hard living truly as yourself can be, okay? Even in the United States, we celebrate the freedom of expression, the freedom to do what you want to do. However, when people truly, truly embrace that ideal and truly live it as, it is celebrated, it still becomes immensely challenging to these people. It takes a lot of courage. So, this new moon in Aquarius, I want you to re-examine the question, am I living true to myself? I want you to ask, am I living true to myself? Even in our freedom-loving society, the pressure to conform and be what others expect you to be is incredibly strong. You have to look around, just to look around at society and see how so many of us are doing the same things, chasing the same goals, going through the same motions, all right? If you've ever sat in rush hour traffic and stared out at all the other cars, all heading to corporate work at the same time, or all heading home from corporate work at the same time, it's crazy. Then you've seen this in action. You've seen the mass appeal of doing things the way they're supposed to be, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you should abandon your goals or dreams or lifestyles just because it happens to be popular or because a lot of other people are doing them. If a healthy choice that you're making feels really good for you and is actually what you enjoy, then by all means keep doing that, Like if you love the idea of structured corporate work, going the same job, all the time, if you like that, this is what makes you and makes you your soul sing, then by all means keep doing that, okay? However, what I do want you to ask is this. Are you doing what everyone else is doing because it feels good and because it feels natural and blissful and right for you? Or are you doing it because everyone else is doing it, okay? Or are you doing it because that is what is expected of you? Or because you can't think of anything better to do, okay? A simple way to know if you are living your authentic, unique truth is to ask yourself, how do I feel about my life? Okay, so you want to just center yourself and ask yourself, truthfully, how do I feel about my life? Do you wake up happy and looking forward to your day? How do you feel at the end of your day? Are you happy with the work and the decisions you made? Are you surrounded by the relationships and people that understand you? An even bigger question is this. If you continue living your life the way you are right now, at the end of your time on earth, would you have regrets? Okay, would you feel fulfilled, proud, victorious, and happy? Or would you bemoan a life half-lived? A life where you didn't be or do what you wanted? Okay? Now, if the latter is true, then you most likely are not living this life as fully you. You're likely hiding a part of yourself or playing small. And this is often to fit in with the world around you. So this new moon in Aquarius, I want you to really recommit and set an intention to live more fully as yourself. I want you to follow your own drum more. Pay attention when you feel more passionately about certain things. You're drawn to certain things for a reason, okay? No matter if it's art, animal art, gothic, fashion, cake decorating, human rights, sexual education, whatever it is, pay attention to what draws you. Pay attention to what you're passionate about. And allow yourself to be how you are and allow that to happen. Allow yourself to follow your own path more. And be open to examining why you are drawn to the things you are. Ask yourself, how can I use the things that fascinate me and drive me to make the world a better place? You know? And how do you define that? How do you define making the world better? Is it making the world a more beautiful place? A kinder place? A more compassionate place? A sexier place? A smarter place? A better dressed place? You know, whatever world improvement means to you, find that and follow that path, okay? Our world cannot change and cannot improve if we remain clones of each other and chase down the same things and all like the same things and all do the same things, okay? There are so many of us that are beautifully different, and yet so many of us are afraid to be different. We're afraid of ridicule or social ostracization or rejection, okay? Those are very real fears. But this new moon in Aquarius, we need to take an active measure in finding the courage to be able to be yourself. Okay, being yourself, unfortunately, does require courage. There's no doubt about that. But it's so important, and I promise you, at the other end of this journey, you will feel so much better for being yourself. Okay, and throughout your life, you know, while you're here, you're going to feel so much better for being yourself. Okay, so this new moon in Aquarius, I ask you to challenge yourself to be uniquely you more in life. Follow your own voice, follow your own path, and chase your own desires. The evolution of our world truly depends on your unique thinking and your own ideas. Okay? So, alright, so we are basically going to do a one-card bridge draw. And how I like to do this is I'm going to pick one card that represents who we are, and another card that represents the energies that we're attaining to have. So for the first card, I have chosen the Page of Swords. Okay, that's best going to represent who we are. Alright. So I chose this card because the page is a student. Okay, he is the lowest member of the court. And that's where you start. Okay, so I always, whenever we are, seeking out, I choose to identify us as page, the the explorer, and the student. He's in a suit of swords because the suit of swords, is ruled by the element of air, which also rules the sign of Aquarius. Okay? So we're all about the mental plane. We're all about intellectualism, thinking, challenging, reasoning. Okay? So, to represent the energies that we are trying to obtain, I've chosen the star. Okay? And the star card in tarot is actually heavily linked to the sign of Aquarius. Okay? It is also ruled by the element of air. And like Aquarius, okay, it is a sign of hope. Just as Aquarius is a hope for humanity, the star represents that. Okay? Just as Aquarius is known just for its individualism, one-of-a-kindness, unique way of thinking, of challenging, the star is also known for that, as well as representing that. Okay? So that is the energy that we're going to be aiming for. Okay? So, take these two cards, and I'm going to do a little shuffle. Okay, so we're just thinking on what can we do? What action can we take to bring more of the individualism, the Aquarians' individualism, the Aquarians' challenging of authority into our lives? And how can we use this energy, and unleash this energy in our life, and unleash it for our own good, and also for the good of the world as well? Alright. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do a little sign. Alright. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. And we have the Chariot. All right, so the Chariot is our answer for how we can bring more Aquarian energy into our lives. And this is a perfect response. Okay, so the Chariot is a beautiful card. The Chariot is all about the power of your own will. All right, the power of your own ego to overcome your obstacles and to be victorious. Okay, so of course we talked about the challenges of being yourself. We talked about the people, you know, wanting to ridicule others and wanting to attack others and wanting to basically hurt or cut other people down. You know, we have this thing where if you are not conforming, if you're not doing things the way things are supposed to be, you know, I have the right to attack you, to degrade you, to humiliate you. And of course, when we want to be different, we want to challenge society. These are real fears that we have, is that people will turn against us. And the Chariot reminds you that your will, okay, is greater than any obstacle that can be before you. It reminds you, you know, that you will be victorious as long as you remain focused on what you want to do, okay, which is focus on letting yourself out into the world, and that you remain focused on the end result, which is that you are going to be happier, which is that you are going to make the world a better place. What is it within you and your mind and your strength of will is much stronger than anything that anyone else can throw against you. Okay, so stay focused, be bold, grab the reins of your own life, okay, and move forward. Just like this charioteer is driving his chariot forward. Okay, so you are already victorious. The tarot says so. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this New World Tarot vlog. All right, thank you again. And I just really want to have you embrace more, more of yourself, or be yourself more, and just go out there and slay it. Be you. You know, the world needs you to be you. I need you to be you. So, definitely be more aware of doing your own thing and follow everyone else a little bit less. All right, thank you so much. Be happy, be safe, be blessed, and we will see you next time. Thanks again. Take care.